Philly was one of the premier places where people just kind of made that connection. Something different, something innovative, something creative was happening that was not happening at every other place or every other city in the U.S. Because in Philadelphia, you had all of the most incredible venues for performing. You had Pep's Musical Bar, you had something called the Postcards, you had the Ovikata, you had all kind of places. Like every corner, it seemed that there was some kind of venue where there was great music going on. Everywhere. You definitely had to work to enter. You just could not walk in. And because Philadelphia is such a widespread, I call Philadelphia the biggest little town more than a city, because it's so widespread in Philadelphia, but you have the sections. You have Germantown, Mount Airy, Chestnut Hill, West Philly, North Philly, Center City, Kensington, Fishtown, so forth and so on. And all of these little pockets of locales in Philadelphia that connected to various cultures, which connected to various musical cultures. So that was one of the reasons why you just couldn't enter, because the little cultures were there and you had to make sure you tapped in before the connection was made. Now, once you got in, then the color barrier and the cultural barriers were broken. They weren't in place musically. It was just outside of the music where you had those kind of hubs. But once you were in, and you weren't in solid, because you have to continue to prove yourself. But you were in the door and you could prove yourself. You could prove yourself and give people an opportunity to see what you can actually do. I learned to make the song mine, feel the song, connect to the song, learn the form, because that's very important, but don't stay there. Learn to come out of that and treat that song as if it came literally from you. I learned that in Philly. I didn't get a chance to go up to New York or many, many other places at 12, 14, 16 years old. I mean, I was sneaking as it was to go and do the music. I wish I could have gone to other places, but all that I learned was right here in Philly, going in and out of those clubs. That innovation, that tradition came from those forefathers and mothers who came before me in this music. It's a great industry. It is male dominated. I don't know if that's ever going to change, but I know there is a place for women in the industry. I just know that as a woman, you have to remain strong, focused, don't get sidetracked, do what it is you do best, study yourself, study the music that you're looking to pursue, but study yourself too, so that you are able to apply yourself beyond your singing, so that you're not focused and get so locked into just doing singing. You have a business side. If you don't take care of it, you won't have a business. If you made it through Philadelphia, you had chops. You know, you had to have chops to make it through Philadelphia. Because Philadelphia is very hardcore when it comes to the arts and entertainment. If you ever perform in front of Philadelphia audiences, you're not going to get a standing ovation in 2 minutes, or just because you walked on the stage. It will not happen. You had better come on that stage knowing what you're doing and being you better be darn good if you're coming in Philadelphia. They're not going to give it to you just that easily. And it's just because of the expectations, the traditions that were initiated here. The best came from Philadelphia. So if the best started here and you came through, you had to be equally as good, if not better. Dream of a land my soul is from. I hear a hand stroke on the drum. Shades of delight, cold you, rich as the night, Afro blue. If Philadelphia is to thrive again as a musical city, that people have to really take a hard and serious look at the musical community, at what they'd like to see in place. And I think because people are preoccupied in either working, trying to get jobs in their musical world, I think because they're looking to try to get jobs, and or they're looking to become more famous, they're not focused on cultivating musical places for our children and their children. People are not focused on it in that way. I think people, especially I'm speaking to those people who are my peers and who are people who are affluent enough politically, socially, activists otherwise, I think we need to get focused on what it is we actually want. Whether it's musical societies, musical organizations, to try to figure out what we'd like to see in place in Philadelphia, because it is fading fast. And I don't think people are taking a look at it right now. I think they're just so focused on trying to make sure they're taking care of themselves and their families, which makes sense. I understand it. But if you're looking at a revitalization of the musical community, I don't think people are taking it serious enough. Not like it has been in the past. So I'm hopeful, but I just don't see where we're going yet. And I say that to my peers as well as myself. We have to take it a little more serious than we have in the past and focus not on ourselves only. Of course, you have to focus on yourself, but not just on ourselves, and focus on the fact that we want this music to be revitalized for our children and our children's children. And we have to figure out how we're going to do that and what we actually want to take place. So come on, Philly. Take it serious and get in there and put your feet in the water and think about what it is you really want and where you want to see us go as a musical community.